Thank you for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. If you are joining for the first time, I appreciate your time as always. Listen folks, there's been a huge development with regards to the country of Guinea-Bissau. As you all know that the situation in Guinea-Bissau is not getting better anytime soon, and the military in the country of Guinea-Bissau has claimed to take over power. But what I'd like to tell you here so far, it's far from it. It's a farce. And it's embarrassing for the former president, Mr. Embalo Sissoko. It's disgraceful regards to strategic engagement. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it comes at a time when Africa is going through transition and fundamental changes regards to its institution. And more importantly, we saw the events in the country of Tanzania and a whole lot of nations, including in Central Africa. At the moment, the events in the country of Guinea-Bissau is the most embarrassing that a former president would openly call the military, according to experts and more importantly, an observer who is a former president of the country of Nigeria, who also was present on the ground and came out clear and openly debunk the current events in the country of Guinea-Bissau.
I would just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the President Embalo, that announced the coup. Before later, the military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Embalo has already announced the coup, which is strange. Not only announcing the coup, but Embalo, while the coup took place, was using his phone and addressing media organizations across the world that he has been arrested. I'm a Nigerian close to 70, and I know how they keep heads of state when a coup takes place.
It is shameful at this time when African countries are currently engaging to transform their own perspective with regards to institutions that are relevant to move the continent forward. This is a moment when a government and institution has failed to deliver the particular requirement to its own people, high unemployment rate, incredible lack of infrastructure, and poor management in a whole lot of areas. And the president of the country will go to the global media and say that there's been a coup. It's unheard of. I have two very important videos here to play. Like you know, we don't hold you hostage, we don't waste your time. Please smash the like button if you encourage what we are doing here to enlighten your strategic engagement on how Africa continues to navigate internal challenges and more importantly, global issues. The former president of the country of Nigeria, Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, never wasted his time to come out clear and debunk the current narrative from the president who have run to exile the country of Senegal. To give you more context on this, let's go back first to France 24 to give you the perspective as the reason why this is not something that has happened in the continent of Africa unnoticed. Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria, has made it clear that there was a winner in the country of Guinea-Bissau. Let's go to France 24 and we will come back to Mr. Goodluck Jonathan's own particular interview. Let's roll this clip.
Hello and welcome to Eye on Africa. I'm Clarisse Fortuné and here are the top stories from across the continent. Ousted Guinea-Bissau President Umaro Sissoko Embalo has arrived in Senegal after General Hortan Tam was appointed as the country's transitional leader. Meanwhile, the opposition candidate from Sunday's election claims victory and accuses President Embalo of orchestrating the takeover. Guinea-Bissau's President Umaro Sissoko Embalo has arrived safe and sound in Senegal after being detained by the military. General Hortan Tam has been sworn in as the country's new transitional leader a day after its troops seized power. Meanwhile, challenger Fernando Diaz Acosta told France 24 he's the winner and that President Embalo is behind the takeover.
General Hortan Tam
General Hortan Tam was next to Minister Embalo during the entire campaign, behind him. If you look at pictures from Embalo's campaign, you'll always see Hortan Tam acting as his bodyguard. He's always with him. So how is it possible that today Horta Tam says that he's done a coup against Embalo. We can't accept this because we know it's not true. What we know is that Embalo is doing a fake coup because he understands that he's lost the election.
Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, according to his own press release, like he said, he doesn't want to go out to the media and talk on issues. But I think in this particular situation, he came out without hesitation and mentioned that the countries across the region must ensure that they want to gain credibility. This is the moment that they have to come up and step up and explain what happened in the country of Guinea-Bissau. Mr. Jonathan was surprised because based on his illustrious career, someone whom I have respect on, he has never seen anything like this that happened in the country of Guinea-Bissau. A president coming out to announce that the military has taken power, of which, according to Mr. Jonathan, is the president who called the military to take over power. How embarrassing is this? To give you more information in regards to why Mr. Goodluck Jonathan do not agree with the current coup in the country of Guinea-Bissau, let's play this interview from Samnofi TV, courtesy of their own particular copyright. Let's roll this clip.
And specifically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. Maybe some people describe it as no, not quite. I would just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the President Balo, that announced the coup. Before later, the military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Embalo has already announced the coup, which is strange. Not only announcing the coup, but Embalo, while the coup took place, was using his phone and addressing media organizations across the world that he has been arrested. I'm a Nigerian close to 70, and I know how they keep heads of state when a coup takes place. Recently, I was a mediator in Mali, an ECOWAS mediator in Mali, and within that period, we had a military coup. Military don't take over governments, and the sitting president that they overthrown will be allowed to be addressing press conferences and announcing that he has been arrested. Why does this happen? Who is fooling who? Basically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau is quite disturbing to me, who believes in democracy. In fact, I feel more pained than the day I called Buhari to congratulate him when I lost the election as a sitting president. Because I've been quite particular about Guinea-Bissau. As a sitting president, then, Guinea-Bissau was in crisis. Started by about 2012. By 2011, we have to go physically. We worked with them and made sure that by 2014, we went 2013, elections were conducted. In fact, it was so bad the day that I learned that a military man went to the office of the Prime Minister and slapped the Prime Minister in the office. It was that bad.
According to Mr. Jonathan, the regional organization ECOWAS should be the moment where ECOWAS should come out and showcase its credential. It is important that the countries across the region should not continue to embarrass themselves when it comes to very important issues like this. African nations, especially those in ECOWAS, have lost credibility. Whether you talk about the current, the previous Niger debacle with France, and more importantly, how Nigeria, one of the major countries in the region, embraces itself in regards to the measures we wanted to take. We've seen the president at the moment that has been taken over by the country of Sierra Leone, who are making some noise in some areas that they will be moving ahead to engage the region. But make no mistake, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have gone through this particular situation to consider that ECOWAS is not an organization that is ready to tackle the challenges of the 21st century. According to former President Goodluck Jonathan, he came out and said that it is important at this time for the country of Guinea-Bissau to announce, and ECOWAS is said to announce who actually was the winner. Let's play this clip.
Thank you so much. I came this evening to brief Mr. President what happened. Well, that's the tradition. We have a former president, all these regional and continental issues. Whenever you're involved, when you get back home, you have to brief your president because the ECOWAS leaders will meet. I will not be there. So you'll be able to get first-hand information. I think, just like I mentioned in the press briefing, the key thing is that that election was concluded. Tallying of the results was almost concluded. In fact, the results are known. And the key thing is that the winner of that election must be announced. Well, they cannot kick out the military with force, otherwise people will die. But let us know the winner of the election. So what I'm asking the ECOWAS leaders to do is to reach out to the military leadership in Guinea-Bissau. Talk to them. They are human beings. They know the right thing to be done. First, for them to release the opposition man, because the man has not committed any offense. He didn't announce himself as a winner of election. If he has done that, they will say it was a treasonable offense. So there was no reason to arrest him. So they should release that man. Then they should announce the result. And if the military will agree, the person who won the election should be inaugurated as the president of the country. We are tired of this in Africa. We are tired. Every day is negative story, negative story. What happened in Guinea-Bissau? It is not what some people would say palace coup. It was not a palace coup. We know coups. Real coups, palace coups we know in Nigeria. This was not even a palace coup. I was looking for the appropriate word to describe. I couldn't get it. I described it as a ceremonial coup. It was a ceremony conducted by the head of state himself.
Why are we emphasizing on this? We are emphasizing on this because we are an African geopolitical channel, how Africa continues to navigate the complexity that it finds itself. If the continent of Africa cannot at this time come out clear and stick its position, we've seen how the country of South Africa come under tremendous pressure from the United States of America. We've seen a number of countries across the region. We continue to look at African countries at this moment are not paying particular attention in regards to the so-called democracy in some countries. African nationals and citizens are benchmarking how their countries are expanding and growing, or other nations that are closest to theirs, or some who do not even have 30% of the resources that they do have. We've seen landlocked countries in the continent of Africa who are growing tremendously. But again, others are continuing to engage in this exploitative manner. According to Mr. Jonathan, this is not going to be a one-off because the events that we've seen across the region, according to him, talking about his own experience about observation, the country of Guinea-Bissau should be embarrassed, and more importantly, the president of Guinea-Bissau should be called out in regards to its particular manipulative aspect, getting the military involved in this case. Let's play the clip.
And the international community is still processing the last few days from a peaceful day of voting on Sunday to the rapid-fire coup and ousting of the former president. Elisa Herbert takes a look at some of the reactions in the region and abroad.
As swiftly as military officers seized control of Guinea-Bissau, international representatives have condemned the move. Among them are observers from West Africa's ECOWAS bloc and the African Union, who just days earlier were praising the smooth running of the presidential election. Now they have issued a joint statement deploring what they called a blatant attempt to disrupt the democratic process.
We expressed deep concern with the announcement of a coup d'etat by the armed forces while the nation was waiting for the announcement of the results. It's regrettable that this announcement came at a time when the missions had just concluded, meeting with the two leading presidential candidates, who assured us of their willingness to accept the will of the people.
Separately, leaders of both groups have also condemned the coup. The African Union Commission's chairperson called for the immediate and unconditional release of President Embalo and all detained officials. And the ECOWAS chief called it a grave violation of Guinea-Bissau's constitutional order and announced he would be running a virtual summit to address the situation.
Let me know in the comment section what you think in regards to the reason why the country of Guinea-Bissau has embarrassed itself, and more importantly, why countries that fail to deliver for their own people, infrastructural-wise, healthcare-wise, and social issues, and it comes at the moment that what we see in the country of Guinea-Bissau might not be a one-off, but again, it is embarrassing that the president of the country has decided not to follow what the ballot says, and according to Mr. Jonathan, who is insisting that there must be a winner, or there is a winner that needs to be announced in that particular election. The military in the country of Guinea-Bissau at this moment should step up to the plate and hand over the particular government to the person who won, according to the former president of Nigeria, who did not mention the name of who won, but when you hear a former head of state coming out clear and sticking out his position, it's essential for the continent of Africa to listen. Credibility lies in the head of the African Union. Credibility at the moment lies in the head of the regional organization, ECOWAS. ECOWAS again has once more come on the spotlight for the negative reasons.
And what is happening is like we are going back to those dark days of Guinea-Bissau, where the military can do whatever they think they can do. It's totally not acceptable. The elections were done peacefully. We were in the field. I was a part of the West African Elders Forum. Normally we are not co-observers, so we didn't deploy observation teams across, but we observed within Bissau, the capital, and the neighboring settlements. But during the meeting of all heads of observation missions, and they gave accounts of all the observers gave their account. Nobody gave something different. The elections were peaceful. Counting of results at the polling units peacefully done. The conduct of the electoral officials, the security, the party agents, the voters. It was a good election, and one expected the results to be announced. Then while they were collating the results, then they are finished collating results. You know, results for presidential election are collated at different levels. Right. The 9 regions, results were ready. So they were collating them at the capital. And when they were almost through, and we're all waiting for the result to be announced, then Ebele announced that that's a coup.
I will be looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.